Hello my knitting friends and buddies, my name is Nadia, I'm the face behind the Lemony channel, where we discuss all things knitting. Have you ever been in a situation where you were watching a new TV series or maybe a movie in the cinema and you were like, damn, that's a nice sweater they're wearing, I can probably make it myself? Well, I've had these situations ever since I've started knitting a year ago, so I've been noticing knitwear a lot more while watching TV series, movies, or even animation because, have you seen the costumes in K-pop Demon Hunters? Oh my god, I'm obsessed. Actually, Phoebe from Friday Knits is currently knitting a sweater with Derpy the tiger, so if she doesn't make a pattern, I'm gonna be mad. So in this series called Knitflix and Chill, we're gonna discuss knitwear in different pieces of media across the world, and we're gonna try to find patterns that will help you make these certain types of knitwear yourself. Don't thank me! For the first episode, I chose one of my favorite TV shows ever, Dept Q. It is a detective criminal drama set in UK, which makes it even more knitwear related because even all of the background characters that don't have any plot importance, everybody is wearing knitwear and I'm living for it. I can't stop looking at knitwear there, especially some of the female characters we're gonna talk about. They have quite a specific style of knitwear and this is really cool and I would love to make everything, but unfortunately I don't have enough time, but I do have time to make a video and share my ideas with you. So grab a beverage of your choice and let's get into it.
Let's start with the main cast. Carl, the main character, he's this sarcastic, a little bit nihilistic detective. He quite often thinks that he's smarter than everybody else, and sometimes it gets him in trouble. Definitely gets him in trouble socially because he is super social awkward. Carl is basically a black cat. If you've ever owned a black cat, you know what I'm talking about. He's literally the living example of being a black cat. He's super, I don't need anybody else, but also he does really need a lot of pats on the back so that he can go through his trauma. And boy, does he have reasons to have trauma. He's been traumatized and you will find out throughout the series how, but all of this made his knitwear style basic. He wears the most basic stockinette, crew neck, slipovers, jumpers. The most fashionable things he does is putting a vest on top of his jumper, maybe a jacket, and sometimes a hat, but that's the best he can do. And most of the time he actually wears hoodies, so not exactly knitwear. But because his style is so basic, I literally found an exact copy of a sweater he's wearing in a few episodes. So this sweater is a literal copy of Northland Sweater by Petit Knit. You can see that it's even the color is the same in this sample, but yeah, it's a basic stockinette, crew neck. You can't go wrong with it. It's the literal basic. It can work in any garderobe. You can spice it up with accessories. You can do anything with it. Carl prefers to hide it under vests. He has this puffer vest that he wears on top of his knitwear, which actually drives me mad because there was one particular episode when he was wearing something looking like a fisherman's rib sweater, but he was hiding it on under the vest and also under the jacket. So I couldn't even see what it was, only the sleeves. I can't really go off the sleeves, of the jumper. So yeah, if you want to look like Carl, the Northland Sweater by Petit Knit is the best option. And I will remind you about the hat he wore in this episode. And this looks like a very classic rib hat. And the pattern I will recommend you is ironically called Classic Rip Hat by Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern actually, and I've made it quite a few times. It's a very simple ribbed hat, so it's one of those projects that will take you like 2-3 days to complete, and you can spice it up with stripes if you want to. Maybe you can do some color work if you wanted to make it a little bit more fancy, but Carl prefers it to be like a single color, so if that's something for you, there you go. The next one is Akram. Akram is the colored sweater type of guy. He always wears something tweedy. He always prefers texture on his sweater, so it's either sweaters made out of yarn that have like speckles around, or cabled, or maybe like some fun stripes, but it's also always gray or like very basic muted colors. So I found one pattern that very much resembles his style and also this particular sweater that he's wearing. And this pattern is called Lumberjack by Marcena Kolaszek. I might have butchered the name, but you know the drills on the screen. I'm sorry if I did butcher your name. This is pretty much the same color. It has a bit more ribbing on sides of the collars, but I'm pretty sure you can just like make less of this ribbing and it's gonna work just fine, or just like work plain stockinette for a little section of this pattern. So, and if you choose yarns that are, for example, I would go for something like Isaiah Aran Tweed. It looks like a perfect yarn to mimic this style of sweater, so that it's more rough, more I am a cool guy who has a very deep history and I'm really manly man. But actually, Akram is one of my favorite characters in the series, so I really enjoy the fact that his knitwear was not as a basic as Carl's. By the way, I forgot to say that Carl's knitwear also is always of muted colors, like navy, forest green, gray, black. Everything he wears is like super neutral. Akram, on the other hand, he wears neutrals, wears grays, but also kind of spices it up a little bit with like fun color stripes or maybe some accessories. So Akram is less boring in his knitwear taste, I guess. But also, I wouldn't say that Carl has a boring taste, because I think that actually his like basic knitwear very much complements his very deep and very big personality, because he is always the star of the scene no matter where they go. Like Carl, because of his sarcastic nature, because of the way he reacts to things, he's very reactive. If he was wearing like more colorful things, or maybe more cables or whatever on his sweaters, it might like take away from his personality and shift the focus to his clothes. So I think that he's wearing basic clothes is a very smart movie decision. And also this knitwear is very easy to make, so both Carl and Akram give us a very nice pool of men's knitwear that we can try and make for our lovely men. Or maybe you're a man who's knitting, so maybe this lumberjack sweater will be a very nice idea to add to your queue. Collars are cool. I don't know why people don't wear collars that much on their knitwear nowadays. Next one. Next we have Rose. She is one of my favorite characters in the TV shows. I'm gonna say this phrase a lot today, I think. She is quirky, she's got trauma as well. I think is kind of the thing that links our main characters together. They all have a trauma, and it doesn't stop her from expressing herself. And can I just say, all of the knits she's wearing are fun. Even the ones that are basic, she pairs up with something fun. You'll see what I'm talking about a little bit later. But let's start with the very first introduction to Rose that we get in the series. She is sitting at her desk and Carl comes up to her, and there she is wearing a very basic cardigan. But even though it's basic, it's orange, and I love this color. And you can see that this cardigan is kind of fluffy, so it's either mohair or alpaca, something very puffy, and I love it. Fluff is my thing right now. And the cardigan I want to introduce to you is Darling Cardigan by Veronica Lindbergh, also known as Kita Kika. The only difference there is between these two cardigans is that Veronica's cardigan doesn't have ribbing on the button band. So you can clearly see that Rose's cardigan has ribbing instead of double knit button band. But it can be very easily changed. You can just like, instead of making the double knit button band as the pattern calls you to do, you just pick up your edge and then knit ribbing. That's it. That's just like switch one thing to another. And I think the fit is very similar, and I think the fluffiness is also very similar to the one Rose is wearing. The next thing, Rose is the queen of wearing vests over fun blouses. She's seen in multiple vests throughout the whole series. She has crew necks, V-necks. It's always dark gray or black vests that she wears on top of fun, bright colored blouses or t-shirts. And I have two options for the vest for you. One is a V-neck vest called Pole Vest by Morica Knits, and it is super similar to the one Rose is wearing. It's also buttoned up vest. It's fluffy. It has like the perfect length of shoulders for you to be rocking it on top of something. But in case you don't like V-necks, I also found Hannah Slipover by the Knit Pearl Girl. And it has crew neck, and I think it also has like the description in the pattern in order to transform it into a V-neck. But it has a little bit more, the construction of it is a bit more curvy, I would say. So it very much depends on what you would prefer to wear. The pole vest looks more like what Rose will wear, but Hannah Slipover might be a more comfortable choice for you as the knitter to wear in the future. Let's move on. Here we can see Rose wearing a scarf. It's a super basic striped scarf. You can basically make it without any pattern, and you can also use some of your hand-dyed yarns that have like a lot of variegation in it. But just for the sake of having a pattern here, I found this Whether or Not by Scott Raw, and it's also a fun striped scarf. It doesn't look exactly the same, obviously. It's made of very much different gauge, you can see that. But if you play around with this pattern, you can pretty much recreate the same scarf that Rose has. And I think it's a very nice scarf to wear in autumn, because you can make it autumn colors, you can make it fluffy or not fluffy, whichever you prefer. And you can even like kind of style it to match your hair color. Like Rose did, she has like specks of orange in her scarf, which very nice corresponds to her hair color, and I love it. Oh my god. This scarf is so her. And on the next screenshot, we will see that she also rocks the scarf with a hat. The hat she's wearing is a basic stockinette hat, and the most popular example is Oslo hat by Petite Knit. I'm pretty sure you can not go wrong with it. It's super popular. Everybody makes it when they start making hats for themselves, usually. And it's super simple stockinette hat, and it will look exactly like Rose's if you make it, which makes it very fun because like both scarf and hat are very easy to recreate, so you can kind of do cosplay for Halloween or just for fun. Sometimes Rose is wearing more of a blouse construction or like thin sweater to the office paired with something like high waist trousers, pants. How do people call these nowadays? I will continue saying trousers or pants. Let's go with pants, with high waist pants and her badge on top. So it's a very simple blouse in this case. Well, not blouse, sweater, but like very thin sweater with stripes and drop shoulder construction as far as I can see. And I would say that the most obvious choice for this one will be Aras sweater by Petit Knit. There's gonna be a lot of Petit Knit patterns here because a lot of styles of knitwear in the TV show is a basic. And Petit Knit does that. She is very famous for being this, for making patterns for staples in your wardrobe, if you know what I mean. These sweaters have different stripes, but if you basically adapt the Aras sweater to your needs and just make a few more rows in this stripe, less rows in this stripe, just like switch colors when you want to recreate the sweater Rose was wearing, I think it's gonna be very fun. All of the knitwear she wears is fun. I envy her so much. I usually wear quite boring stuff, but I'm changing it. As you can see, I am bringing color to my wardrobe. Okay, the next one, I am proud of myself for finding a pattern for it. It is a vest with these lace wheat-like pattern on the body, and also at the same time it has this diamond texture on the body of the vest. And I am extremely happy that I found the pattern. I was looking a long time for this pattern in particular, but I think I found almost a perfect dupe. It's called L'amour Slipover by Sarah Hatton. And check this out. It's the same lace and it's the same diamonds. The upper part of the vest is a bit different. You will have to maybe make the shoulders wider so that it fits the same way as it fits Rose. But the pattern itself, like the texture on the body, identical. And it can look so cute. I am actually thinking about making it right now, and my queue is too long to do that, but I'm still contemplating whether I should or not. I shouldn't, I know that, but I might. For this next blouse, which has the same lace idea in it, but also it is ribbed, I couldn't find the exact pattern, so I kind of went off the feeling and the style, the vibe of the blouse, if you may. So, in my opinion, the best vibe copy would be Heirloom Jumper by Fable Knitwear. It also has like the lace columns, but not on sides and center, only in the center. And it's not ribbed, but it kind of gives the same elegant, chic, but also allowed to be worn in office style. And I think it's a very nice sweater to make for work. Okay, the next character is Rachel. Rachel is the therapist that helps Carl go through his trauma and work through his trauma. And I have a feeling that Rachel was added to this TV series for a very important purpose. She's there to highlight the problem of psychologists in UK being underpaid, because she's the only character that wears the same sweater in 3 different episodes throughout the series. So while other characters have like 3-4 garderobe changes during one episode, she is very keen on wearing this striped blouse / sweater throughout the whole series. And it's only 3 times that I saw it. It might have been more. I know that it usually means that the actress was filming different episodes in one day and they just like didn't think it was that important to change her garderobe a lot. Garderobe? Wardrobe. your style. But the pattern I would like to recommend in this case is Caramelli Sweater by Vera Välimäki. And it's this striped sweater crew neck with ribbing. It's not actually crew neck, is it? I think it's more of a boat neck. It's kind of in between those. Oh, I'm not sure. But it's a drop shoulder construction and it looks very cute. And you can wear it in multiple episodes as well. Nobody's gonna judge you. Luckily, Rachel sometimes actually does change the sweater she's wearing. We also have this striped sweater. It has a little bit of texture to it, and I couldn't find the exact copy, but this Burafirth by Gudrun Joston is a similar vibe, I would say. You just need to add more stripes and it's gonna be very similar. It has the same boat neck, it has the same texture on top. You just need to kind of mix and match pieces of pattern to make it a copy of Rachel's sweater. And also, Rachel is wearing one cardigan in the whole series. And this cardigan is like this oversized cardigan with a V-neck and with braids. I don't think it's called cables, right? I think it's called braids. I'm not sure. But those like very wide cables slash braids vertically everywhere. And I think that Auguste cardigan by Johanna Gerich. I'm butchering so many names today. I'm so sorry. I kind of feel like every time I'm making those pattern roundups, I am basically avenging myself in the eyes of all Starbucks employers who has ever written my name strongly incorrectly, because this happens every time. I don't think I've ever had an experience in any Starbucks outside Russia where they would write my name correctly, even though I don't even use my name most of the times. I either say Anna or N, and even this case, they always do it differently from what I expected. You can never guess. But yes, this cardigan is also, it has vertical braids and slash cables. It has a very similar construction, but it's a bit shorter than what Rachel's wearing, so you will need to maybe get some more yarn if you want it to be like the same length. Just think about it when you decide to make it. Our last character for today is Claire. Claire is this housekeeper who was working with... how do I explain without spoilers? With the main problem that Carl is trying to solve with his team. I have no idea if I succeeded or not. And Claire wears the most fun stuff. She loves color. It actually is fitting her character so well. All of the knitwear they found is so crazy and fun, and I love it. On the very first time we meet her, she's wearing this very simple hat, and I think once again the Oslo, no, not the Oslo actually, the classic ribbed hat that we already saw for Carl will work just as well. You just make it a bit shorter and don't do the flip. But also she's wearing this lovely sweater and a lovely scarf. The scarf is a basic striped garter stitch scarf, and the only actual pattern I found for it, because actually people don't post that many basic scarf patterns, everybody's trying to do something fun with it, so there are not too many basic striped scarves. So the one I found is Melded Scarf by April Klitsch, and it looks very similar, but also I think it's like, I don't think it's double knitted, it's just like changes color at some point. So on one side it's black and red, on the other side it's red and black. Black and red and black. You know that moment when something stops feeling as a real word? That was this moment for me right now. So This way I know it's time to freaking end the video, but we still have this lovely sweater she's wearing. I obviously didn't find any exact copies, but I have two sweaters that have the same stripy vibe, and you can choose between Cinnamon Roll Sweater by Ariana Borgo, and it's been on my queue for so long. I think it's one of the first projects on Ravelry I favorited ever since I started knitting, but I still haven't done it. And I'm very sad. I probably should. It looks cute. And you can kind of mix and match the stripes in between, so you can kind of try to replicate the Claire's sweater better. And the second sweater is Clair de Lune by Saskia & Co. And it's also striped, but it's not literally striped. It's striped in pattern, in different patterns. So it's like a stripe of diamonds, a stripe of flowers, I think. I'm not sure, but it looks adorable. It gives off the same vibe of coziness and something you wear at home to warm yourself up. That's it for our pattern roundup for today. There's actually a lot more knitwear in the series that I haven't mentioned because I wasn't able to capture them properly, or maybe I didn't find it fun enough. But I think it's the first TV show where every character, even like the ones that are not important for the plot, everybody is wearing knitwear, and I was so happy watching it. It's like there's a lot of inspiration to be drawn from it, and overall I am in love with this series. Dept Q became easily my favorite TV show of 2025, and I'm so grateful for it being released. I love how Netflix either releases a complete flop or a complete like genius masterpiece that you want to devour and share with everybody. Dept Q is the second category, if you were wondering. So thank you very much for staying with me today, and I hope to see you in 2 weeks. Goodbye, my dear friends and buddies.